Hey y'all, it's TxStampin Sharon. Welcome to my live. It is Monday, August the 18th. I almost said 17th. I am so excited tonight. I'm going to be sharing lots of ideas, like over 10, probably 20. I don't know. There's a whole stack of ideas using the sunflower embossing folder. Now, everything I'm going to teach y'all tonight, you can use any embossing folder, but this one is so pretty and does so well. So I want to say hello to everyone joining me in the live chat. I think everybody can hear and see me. Hello, Miss Carla. Hi, Sue. Hi, Diane. Okay, I think we're good. Although I have I have my other computer set up so I can see if I go live. There's a commercial. You know, we just don't mind those commercials because if we didn't have the commercials, I wouldn't be able to share with y'all what I'm about to share. So we're grateful for the YouTube platform, and we are grateful that we are able to be together virtually. All right. So I'm just waiting. There we go. I see me now. Commercial's over. I am going to be sharing, like I said, like over 10 ideas. Actually, it may even be like 12 because during the live chat, Debbie Aldridge said, "Is that foil?" And I was like, "Foil? Wait, let me go grab some." So I'm going to throw that in. I want to inspire y'all to use the products that you have, but if you don't have something and something that I show you looks exciting, then you can add it to your wish list. So I want to give a shout out to several people, all of y'all who have the little Texas logo by your name. You are my stamping friends. You are members of my YouTube channel, and I just really appreciate y'all. And so for being a member, as a thank you, I give y'all a private class. Now, those of you who was in the class this month, wasn't it mind-blowing? Like mind-blowing. I loved that class. It is typically a class that I have not taught before. And so it's like a first time kind of a thing. So yeah, it was super fun. I also want to give a shout out to Renee Paris. I see her on there. She is live with us. She is one of my Monday night moderators. And I did say her name right this time. I also want to say hello to Michelle Batson. Apparently, a couple of weeks ago, I was so excited when I was sharing my Happy Place stamp set that I mixed up their names. I don't know. Did I say Michelle Paris and Renee Batson? I don't know. I combined them. And I didn't even know it. They told me afterwards. All right, I have yacked enough. I am going to flip the camera around. I'm going to show you some supplies that I'm using right off the bat. So, of course, there is that gorgeous sunflower. And I have some cards that I'm going to share with y'all. And I picked the right words. I just picked the right words, y'all. The right words stamp set, because I wanted a bunch of happy birthday cards. So all of my cards say happy birthday. This is a great set. It's got some great words in here that y'all will love. So Carla says, "I can't remember exactly who you called what, but it was hilarious." Yeah, and I think it was so funny, Carla, that I didn't even catch it. I just went on, just kept on talking. Yeah, super fun. Let's see. Let me scroll back up. I saw a comment there. Sarah says, "I got so many compliments on your special hot mess cards." Yeah, we named that the hot mess technique. Yeah, I'm all about techniques. All right, so these are some of the supplies. I'm going to set that aside. I want to, now these are not the cards per se that I'm going to show you, but I want to show you, I want to teach you something about the embossing folder, okay? So we have an embossed side and a debossed side, okay? And when you get the folder, I especially wanted to teach y'all this because I'm going to be doing techniques with both sides. And I want it clear in your head what I'm talking about. So this is the top because, you know, it closes like this. So that is the top. That's the embossed side. And then when you flip it over, this is the bottom and it's the debossed side. Okay. So that's your first lesson with the folder. We good? Okay. Let's see. So I did these cards, I don't even remember when, but one side is debossed and the other side is embossed. So this side is raised, this side is not, okay? And they both are gorgeous, but you can tell by the coloring that it's two different techniques, okay? You're going to understand this more as I go through the class. But I wanted to bring all of that to your attention because it's part of our lesson. I have got so much embossing powder. I even had it on my neck. I was like, oh, girl, you're having a good time in there today with that embossing powder. Okay. So I'm going to show you the cards and then I'm going to show you how I did it. Okay. So there it is. There's my first happy birthday card. And I started off with a piece of basic white and I embossed it. Now, when you look at this, I want to point out some things. I want you to see how detailed and raised the sunflowers are and this flower, and then I want you to see how the leaves are not as raised. Can y'all see that on the camera? Okay, so there are different levels of embossing on the cardstock. Make sense? Okay, y'all are excited to learn this tonight. Yay! I'm so excited to share it with you. Okay, so I'm calling this just a tone on tone. No, this is not a tone on tone. This is starting off, we're going to start the technique of actually dragging some ink on the cardstock. Now, when you're doing this, you're going to very lightly do it. And if you can aim towards the edge of the ink pad, so kind of having it, let's see if I can show you, at an angle like that, you will get better results. Okay. Now, I really got heavy over there, but I don't care. I don't care. I love it. I love the whole concept of dragging the ink pad. That is heavy. I am a heavy-handed person. Now I'm going to add a touch of pumpkin pie. That was Daffodil Delight. And I'm going to add a touch, just touching, touch. And it's almost like magic that it just picks up some of that ink. Okay, so that is the first one. And this is just beginning the coloring concept, okay? So it's not quite a tone on tone because I added the pumpkin pie, okay? All right, so that's our first one. I need, hold please. Tidy that up a little bit. Now I'm going to do what I'm calling tone on tone. It's just a very subtle coloring, okay? And Carla says, I'm very glad to know you are heavy-handed because I have a hard time not being heavy-handed with ink pads. I know, girl, it's a problem, and I'm right there with you. All right, so this is Lemon Lolly, And so I could do two things. I could do lemon lolly on lemon lolly, or I could even try Versamark, which is a tone on tone type of ink. So let's just see what the Versamark looks like. Huh, can't really see it. Well, yep, okay. On lemon lolly, don't use Versamark. Go ahead and grab the lemon lolly ink pad. Now, let's try something, Carla, okay? Let's try holding the ink pad with just 2 fingers and see if we get a lighter touch. All right, Carla? I'm going to try it. Well, that's so light you can't even see it. Okay, we got to go a little bit heavier on that. Okay, so I am pushing with my finger. This is just a very subtle tone on tone. It just kind of gives more definition maybe to the embossing. Can y'all see that where it's picked up the color? You can always go back and add more. Let's see what happens if I get a little bit heavier. There we go. Now we can see it. So I'm actually just putting it flat and just kind of rubbing it. So sometimes heavy is good, Carla. Sometimes being a heavy-handed stamper or inker is good. Belinda says if you use color spots, you might not be as heavy-handed. That's a good idea, Belinda. We'll try that. Okay. So with the tone on tone, though, you may have to be more heavy-handed. All right. Okay, so this one is called a reverse blackout. Now, there has been a million people demonstrating different things on the internet with using this embossing folder. Oh, that's lemon lime twist. I don't want that. I need old olive. Old olive. Old olive. Okay. So what I'm going to try to do, there are leaves. Let's see. Yep, those are the leaves. So there are leaves up here. So I'm on the debossed side, okay? And I'm coloring the leaves. It's kind of hard to do up in the air, so I'm just not going to do that. I thought I was able to do that, but I'm just not going to. So we're going to just bring it back down. I'm using Stampin Blends, and I'm actually going to use both the light and the dark just to give it a little bit more depth. Oh, I think I need to replace my dark. Whew. What in the world? I think I got a little crazy with that. I think we're gonna just not use that. Bless your heart. I don't know what happened. Let's see if I do the other end. I guess, okay, we're not gonna use that. We're just gonna go back to this. So I'm just trying to color those leaves. Where else do we have leaves? We've got some over here. It's easier to see on the other side, so I'm just flipping it around. Oh, there's one. Okay. Hey, are y'all talking about me, Renee? Are y'all talking about me? You and Kathy Walsh? Just curious. All right. Then I'm going to color the center of the flowers, and I'm going to use pecan pie. I used the lighter one, the lighter of the two Stampin Blends earlier, or when I made that card, and I'm going to go darker this time just to see what will happen. See, I look up and I can't not know what y'all are talking about. But I do have Michelle Batson, who is helping me tonight. And so if you have any questions about any supplies, you can ask her by doing the @ sign and start typing Michelle's name. I don't think I quite finished all of that like I like to do. Okay, I'm going to grab a piece of scrap paper, okay? And I'm going to get the Memento ink, and I'm going to take it and I'm going to add the ink to the Daffodil Delight cardstock. And yeah, I'm going to get a little messy, but it's okay. Look how cool. Look how cool. Now I will have a blog post. The blog post is ready and it technically could go live. But today when I started adding more cards, I decided that I wanted your free handout to include all of the samples. So we got to get that cleaned up. So the blog post is not quite ready to go live at when I'm done tonight, but it will be soon. So you can check back and get the free download when I'm done. This is on the debossed side. Yes, Carmen, on the debossed side. So if I flip it over, you can see the raised embossed. Okay, so this is the debossed side. How cool is that, right? So we're calling that the reverse blackout. Like I said, I will have the handout for y'all when I get all these pictures in. Okay, what else do we have? All right, so it's kind of cool to emboss on dark cardstock and then add dark ink. So I picked, now I forgot to tell y'all, a lot of these ideas were created during my team meeting. We have a monthly Zoom, and I had a bunch of these, and we went through, my team and I went through, and they told me, let's try this, let's try that. So we had a lot of fun doing that, and that's where most of these came from, and I turned them into cards. All right, we're going to get our black ink again because I'm going to do the same thing. Now I'm on the raised side. I'm on the embossed side, okay? Ooh, Kathy says, I love the blackout card. I'm so glad. It was pretty easy, right? Okay, so now we're just going to add some ink. I'm going to do something, I'm going to teach y'all something so that you don't get inky fingers. We're going to take, I'm just going to take this. Hold on. Let me finish. So I'm hanging on to the uninked part. We're just adding some black. I may need to re-ink this ink pad. Okay. Now I'm going to turn it around so I can do the other side. I'm going to take that Post-it note and I'm going to hold on to it with the Post-it note so I don't get my fingers black again. Takes me a hot minute to learn. Remember how I told you that some of the leaves were lower? So maybe just try to tip that ink pad a little bit to get in there. Okay. Now, So I added dark ink to the dark cardstock. Lori says, wow, I'm so glad I have the sunflower. I love these. Yay! Now, those of you who don't have the sunflower, you know what you're going to be adding on your order. Now, there is a difference between the two. Can y'all see how shiny that is? So I actually decided to run clear embossing powder over it, and I'm going to share that technique with you on another card. But this is what it looks like without the clear embossing powder, and then this is what it looks like with the embossing powder. So it almost looks darker, okay? So I'm calling this like 2 ideas out of my 10, right? Because it is. Okay, now I have another piece of white that I embossed, and I'm going to do, let's see, what did I do? That's the debossed. I'm going to show you. I'm just going to show you. Hold on. I'm going to show you. I'm going to get early espresso. And I just want to show you what would happen if we did both sides. Use our little Post-it note to hang on to that. Y'all, I mean, it's just gorgeous. That's it, done. Just rubbing the ink on the card, on the cardstock. Okay, now what happens if we flip it over and we do the other side? The embossed side and the debossed side. Let me do that again. So pretty. So pretty, right, Sue? Isn't that gorgeous? So debossed, embossed. Embossed, debossed. Isn't that so fun? It's just, so you can, it's just so versatile. I don't know how else to describe it. And like I said, this embossing folder lends itself to doing all of this. And so, Michelle, how much is the embossing folder? I don't even know. But for the price of the embossing folder, look how many ways to use it. So while we're waiting on Michelle to tell me how much the embossing folder is, let's see. Rochelle says, I didn't know you could use the tuxedo black to get that effect. Isn't that cool? It's just so cool. The sunflower, oh yeah, the sunflower embossing folder is not available. It's been, because everybody loves it, right? So it's sold out, but it will be back the week of September 1st. Okay, so a couple of weeks ago, if not a month ago, I taught y'all the carved wood technique. So we're gonna make our paper look like wood, okay? And then we're going, so I took and I scored it every 1/2 inch across my cardstock. So it looks like wood planks, okay? Got it? So now what we're gonna do is we're going to get our folder and we're going to create this look. So do you see my score lines? We're gonna create the carved wood look. And that is on the debossed side. So, memory serves me, I think I want it this way. Because I want the debossed side. Oh, and because I want the wood to show, this is important. When you're looking at the embossing folder, hold on, another education. There's more, whoops. Can y'all see how there's more flower? Hold please. I'm going to show you the picture. See how one side of the folder has kind of just leaves and then the other has more flowers. Okay, so I want to do the side that has the leaves. so that I can see my score lines. Does that make sense? I mean, I'm still getting some flowers, but I want to see those score lines. Sandy loves the debossed side of that last card. You know, I do too, and I have found myself doing more with the debossed side of the cardstock than the embossed side. But I want to show y'all both ways, because typically when we're embossing with an embossing folder, we always do the embossed side, not the debossed. Okay. So I need some early espresso, some pecan pie, and I think I used Summer Splash. It's kind of what it looks like. All right. Okay. I'm going to start with the dark. And here we go again, Carla. We got to be light-handed on this. Let's wish me luck. Let's see how I do. Huh, that's not bad at all. I did it. Look at me, Carla. There's hope. There's hope for us, girl. Okay, now I'm going with pecan pie. And just look how pretty. Can y'all see that? You can see my lines where I scored. And I just realized that I'm doing the embossed side and not the debossed side. We're going to do both sides again. Okay, now I'm going to switch to Summer Splash. All right, we'll see what both sides look like. We may like one over the other. Okay, I want a little bit more brown, so I'm going to get my early espresso and bring it back in. Okay. So it definitely doesn't look like I wanted it to because I did the embossed side. So let's turn it over and let's do it again. Lightly. I'm doing pretty good. A little bit darker, but I think I wanted that. Okay. Now I'm doing... there you go, Sandy. She said, go rogue and do both sides. There you go, girl. Now I'm going to do pecan pie. And just look. Look how that looks like wood. You see it? Way better when you do it on the right side. Oh my gosh. Y'all love me, right? I think that is so pretty, and I really don't even want to put the Summer Splash on it, but I'm going to because I did that on the other one. All right, Carla, wish me luck. I'm going to go very light-handed with the Summer Splash, and maybe I'll like it. I do. I kind of switched the way I'm dragging it. By the way, the longer your strokes, like, it just flows better. It just works better. Okay, now that's what it's supposed to look like. The carved wood look. Now, when I shared this before, I did it with the sailboat embossing folder. So you can always go back and watch that video as well here on my YouTube channel. So it's called the carved wood look. And I think it's stunning. Brenda Bennett says, I love them. Perfect. Okay, so that's the carved wood or wood carved. Thank you, Diane. She says, gorgeous. Okay, so what would happen? Hold, please. What would happen if I wanted to add different colors of ink to a colored cardstock. Now this is where in my team meeting, let's see, what did I do on here? And we're going to do the debossed side, okay? I asked my team members, what colors of ink should we use? Okay, Belinda says debossed side is best. Kathy Walsh says, I love that video and have used it many times. You're welcome. You're welcome. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab 3 colors of ink. And I think I'm going to get, so, wow, that does not look like Calypso Coral. This is Calypso Coral cardstock, and I'm going to go with Calypso Coral, okay? Cindy Wagner, how can we not love you? Well, because I make mistakes sometimes. That's how you can not love me. What color do I want? Maybe I want some... What do y'all think about these 3 colors? A little peach pie, Calypso Coral. Do I want pecan? What about, this is the fun part, picking colors. What about if I go with basic gray? There you go. Have you tried starting with the lighter color first? I have, Donna. We'll do it on this card and see what happens. Whoa! Well, that is not peach pie when it goes on Calypso Coral. Good gosh. Okay, Carla, maybe I was a little heavy-handed on that one. I don't know, y'all. This color combination may not quite work, but we'll see. We'll see. Woo, buddy. Carmen says no gray. All right, Carmen, what color? What color should I use? Now, in my opinion, these 2 ink pads right now look the same. So the whole point is to, I wanted to try to do it on a, I thought Calypso Coral was a lighter cardstock, but maybe I was wrong. Maybe it's not. Let's see. Owning up to your mistakes, laughing. Sandy says, Renee says that if you didn't make mistakes, we would wonder about you because we all make them. Amen, girl. Amen. Let's see. I saw another one about, Sandy says, owning up to your mistakes, laughing and fixing them is one of the reasons we love you. Absolutely. All right, Carmen, you said no gray. You want the brown. Okay. This is Carmen's show. We're going to do it. But I think my base cardstock is our problem, but we're going to try it. Yeah, it's just the wrong color. Okay, so can you see the brown? It is coming out, but boy, I'll show you my sample card, and I think you're all going to agree that I should have done this with a lighter color cardstock. I thought Calypso Coral was light. No. Okay. I did it with Bubble Bath. Is that what it's called? Bubble Bath. And I do learn from mistakes, Lori. I'm thinking that Calypso Coral is not as light as I thought it was, but you know. So on this one, we took Bubble Bath and drug ink pads across it, and that's what it came out like. Okay, so the whole thing is just to try different colors of cardstock and seeing what it looks like with the different inks. Sarah says, I love seeing both sides. I'm so glad. Now, I'm going to own up to the fact that that actually does kind of look fallish. Now that I'm looking at it, I wonder, okay, I'm going to try one more thing. Where is... I can't lose any ink pads because they're all right here, right? There it is. We're going to add a little bit darker brown. Connie says, from here, it looks great. Well, I'm so glad. Okay, so if I ruin it, it's my fault, Connie. I'm going to add early espresso. There we go. It needed a darker brown. Right? What do y'all think? I love it now. So darker. Mary says it doesn't look as bad as you think. Well, on this side of the camera, it did. But I like it with the early espresso. Okay, so I'm calling that colored cardstock with 3 ink colors. With the exception of this one, we went with 4. Okay. Carmen says, oh gosh, it's great. I'm so glad. Okay, so now this one, we're going to call it a whitewashed effect. And I'm going to share something with you. I took, where is it? I took my basic white ink pad. Thank you, Kay Strum. She likes it. And I drug it across. Now look how pretty that is. Just Coastal Cabana with white ink. Isn't that pretty? I'm calling that a whitewash. But as time goes on, it starts to fade. And it's not as so much time goes on. When this dries, it's not as dark. It looks like this. So then today I was like, how can I keep this look? So I messed up. But I'm going to show y'all my mess up because I don't want you to do it. Or at least I want you to be aware of what could happen. So where did it go? Where's my boo-boo? Hold please. I thought I put it, oh, there it is. I poured white embossing powder over it. Well, that doesn't look a thing like it. So what I thought we would do together is let's pour clear powder over it and see what that looks like. The other thing too is this has to dry before you do anything with it. You don't want to take it to your paper trimmer. You don't want to do anything with it until that is dry. Okay. So, oop, that's the white. We don't want white. We want clear. Okay. Uh-oh. What is that? Okay. So we're going to pour clear powder. There you go, Deborah Clary. You're with me. Let's go with the clear. And we're gonna, I think it's gonna set the white and it's not going to be overbearing like the white powder was. Okay. What if you add color to the embossed one? Sherry, you're talking about this Coastal Cabana one? I think I have an extra one done if you want me to try that. I'm going to go through my whole stack, and then if we have time, I will do some more. I'll throw it out and you guys can ask me to do something else. How's that? I think this is going to work. The test will be, will it look as white or will it look clear? Lori says, fingers crossed. I think it's going to look white. I think it's going to look shiny white. You see it? I think she means to cover the messed up white embossed one. Oh, What if I add color to this one? I don't know. There's so much embossing powder. I don't think it's gonna. I don't think it would do anything to the. I don't think the colored ink would stick to it. That's what I'm trying to spit out. Now this is actually pretty. It's different, but it's not going to be the same as this one. Oh, AK Stamper says it looks like Wink of Stella. You're right. It does. Now, Sharon is bringing up a good comment. She says that she has put the white ink on the embossing folder and run it through. I'm not going to do any techniques doing that tonight because I had so many things I wanted to share with you. But that is a great idea. And Sharon, can you tell me, did it help or did the white still look like this card? Okay, I think it's dry. I think I got everything melted. Oh, Sherry says that the clear makes it look Pantene. Okay, y'all, it's really pretty, but it's not very white. I mean, you can see. Yeah, I guess you can. It's really pretty. It's way prettier than this. So, do this. Don't do this. Very pretty. Sue says, I'm like a magpie. I like shiny, blingy things. I like this one with the clear powder. It's really pretty. It really is. Okay, so now we know. And I called this a whitewash. Okay. What else do we have? Okay, here we go. We touched on this. We are going to do the deboss side, and we're going to get some sponge daubers. And I think I used Berry Burst. And I thought I used pecan pie. I should have wrote these down. What's the other color? Probably that. Okay. So what I'm going to do first, shiny whitewash, says Lori. That's right. We got a shiny whitewash going on. I'm going to grab a sponge dauber. Get that one. And I need, where's my, I'll just get a new one. Okay. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to color the centers. So we kind of did this technique using the Stampin Blends, but now we're going to use sponge daubers. Okay, oh, we got a little bit over there. Okay, then I want to take, excuse me, I'm going to use, I don't know, maybe I didn't use brown. I don't know. We're going to try pecan pie, and we're going to do that in our leaves. And I'm not too worried about getting it around the leaf. You'll see why. So you see what I'm saying? I'm going outside the lines. hard to find all the leaves. Okay, so basically the same thing I did. The sponge dauber technique looks interesting, says Cindy Wagner. Some of y'all may like this technique better than using the Stampin Blends. All right, so now I'm going to take my, I really need a bigger space, but I don't have one. I'm going to take the, do I want to do that first? Yeah, we're going to take early espresso, and this is the debossed side, remember? Sandy said, I would love to spend a day in your craft room. You have everything and you have everything and everything is in its place. Not right now. That would be so fun. We should have like a contest, and whoever the winner is, you come and spend the day with me. What? That would be fun. Okay, now we're going to take, I'm trying, Carla, I'm trying to go light. But I do need to go a little bit heavier, and I'm going to pick this up and show you. I need to go a little bit darker because I went outside the lines, so I got to make sure I cover that up. Look how pretty. Look how pretty. Y'all like that idea? Come spend the day with Sharon. Okay, so this one, I said colored cardstock with sponge daubers. No two are ever going to look the same. Okay, looks like I might have gone in with some crumb cake before I went dark. So that would have been another color I could have done. All right, so there's that one. Okay, so now we have it again. Can you tell I really loved Coastal Cabana? We're going to go with the debossed side. And we're going to do it again. But this time I'm going to grab the crumb cake. This one I'm saying, oh yeah, I know what I did. Okay, so I'm going to come in with the crumb cake first. But I just remembered I did something. Whoopsies. Hold on. I forgot to use the sponge daubers. And do the leaves. You're like, I'd like to spend the day with you. That would be fun. That would be fun. You know, it's funny. I've never spent the day with Renee. I've spent some time with Michelle. She met me, her and Virginia came and met me in North Carolina at Stampin' Up's event last March. So that was fun. But yeah, Renee needs to come see me. I don't know. We might get into some trouble. Okay, I'm doing the same thing I did on the other card, but I'm kind of doing it backwards because I forgot to do this part. And I added, well, I guess that's all I get to do. Only one center there. I added the crumb cake. Okay, that's fine. It's all fine. All right, now we're going to come back in with the early espresso. Not a fan of the colored cardstock with markers. Do you like it with the sponge daubers? Is that vibing with you better? Who was it that said that? Ardith? Okay. I can kind of see the crumb cake. If I come back and add more. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, how much time do I have? Are y'all in a hurry? Y'all going anywhere? Because I still have more to show you. I think I'm about done. Have y'all enjoyed this? Have you enjoyed having all the different ways in one video? Okay, I'm going to try this. I'm going to see if my ink is still wet. And it is. So I'm just going to pour the clear embossing powder over it. So yeah, let me know in the chat. Let me know on the replay. If you're watching the replay, let me know if you like having all these techniques using the sunflower embossing folder in one video. Let's see. Trish Lappin says yes. Mary says yes. Lori says, I'm not going nowhere. Okay, now we're going to heat set. The Frog Quilter says it's always fun to see new ideas. I'm so glad. I love techniques. Y'all know my second technique book came out, right? Oh my gosh. Y'all, it's so fun. I've had a dream for years to have a reference book of techniques, and it has evolved from how I started in 2022 to having actual printed books. So fun. And some of y'all have been buying them already, and they're shipping. So if you were one of the first ones to order, you should be getting your book soon. Okay. I'm not going to keep heating that because it's getting hot, but that's what it looks like. And then this is what it looks like when it's done. Look at that. Isn't that so pretty? Oh, and this one I think I didn't color. I just did the ink. I just drug the ink over. I didn't use the sponge daubers now that I'm looking at the card. AK Stampers is waiting for her book to arrive. All right, let's clean up this mess really quick. These are reference books that you guys will be able to refer to for years to come. Okay, what about taking other things? Here we go, Debbie. I got your foil. What about if we emboss designer series papers, foils? Well, let's see what happens. We're going to start with the papers. So this is the Thoughtful Journey. Okay, I've got that. And then the other one is Full of Life. Okay, those are the two embossing designer series papers that I picked. Okay, so this is Full of Life. Look how pretty. Look how pretty just by itself. A little bit more subtle. Now here's the back side. Didn't quite turn out as much. I prefer the embossed side on the paper. Mary Alexander likes all the techniques together. Okay, so what do y'all think? Should we drag our Versamark and do some clear embossing, or maybe we should try gold embossing? This is also from that paper pack, I think, and I did gold embossing. Also did some silver embossing. So I'm actually not going to go through and do that. I'm not going to do any embossing on these right now. Tess says, thank you. It's my first time being a member in the membership for Sharon. Welcome. I'm so glad that you are one of my members on my channel, and I do appreciate that. I don't know, y'all. That is just stunning. Maybe okay, we got to do it. Hold on. I'm not going to emboss it, but what if I take the white and drag it across? I'm being heavy-handed, Carla, because it's really dragging. Now we know that this is going to dry more subtle. Look at that. Look at that. Isn't it so pretty? We're going to do both of them. I do recommend adding a lot of ink to your ink pads when you're doing these dragging techniques. We got those refills for a reason, right? I think those are so pretty. Sarah Kendall says, I can't wait to get messy again. Well, there you go, my friend. This is messier than what we did the other night. Okay, so this reminds me of what we did the other night. I just went ahead and embossed several of the papers just to see what they would look like. So don't be afraid to do that, and then drag that white ink across so it really pops it. Now here is the one that I did during our team meeting, and this is the Country Woods. Hold on. Oh, please. Yes, Country Woods Designer Series paper. And we did drag some basic gray across there with the yellow and the blue. Sue says, I can just imagine the recipient saying, how did you do that? You know, I gave my friend, my neighbor across the street, her birthday card yesterday, and she was just touching it, and she said, how did you do that? Good, 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 good. Okay, so I said this reminds me of what we did in our YouTube members class. Can you just see that? But that's not embossing, that's not Designer Series paper. It was the technique that we did. We did a shaker card. Look how fun. So fun. We did this card. And then we did this one. They all turned out different. This is another shaker card. If you're not a YouTube member, you can go and become a member here on my channel and go see how we did that technique. And it started out as a hot mess is what Sarah called it. And I'm calling it my hot mess technique. Okay, but that really does look like it, huh? But it's paper. Okay, I want to take, because Debbie Aldridge asked about foil, I want to emboss the foil, but I'm going to tidy up my fingers just a bit. Y'all know that I love to have some hand sanitizer here on my desk, and that helps get that surface gunk off so that I can touch things without messing it up. So I'm going to have a handout with all these pictures on it, in it. And I will have it on my blog. I will also have it on my newsletter. If you guys are in my newsletter, I will share the handout there. Hold on, I got to find the embossing folder. Okay. Remember, if you put that white ink inside the embossing folder, it's gonna get on the folder, so it would show up really well on your foil. Now this foil right here is new. It'll be available September 3rd. I want to say it's called Naturals or something, but it's just as copper, and so I had to get it. Okay, you should contact Purell to sponsor your videos. Girl, what an idea. Maybe I should do that. Oh, that's funny. Okay. Michelle just put the link to the newsletter in the live chat. I sure do appreciate y'all when you join me on the chat, and I really appreciate you when you watch the videos, when you share the videos. That tells YouTube, hey, that girl might be a little nuts, but people love her. Oh my gosh, can you just see it through the folder? Ready? Y'all, doesn't that look gorgeous? Okay, Debbie, are you happy? The foil looks so pretty. I hope you can see that. Hold on. I know the light. It is stunning, y'all. Sue and Debbie Aldridge both said stunning. It is so pretty. So pretty. Okay, so I talked about my card making technique book, and one of the techniques we did tonight, the carved wood, is in this. Where is it? It's the last one. It is in this book. That's the one we did on the video. It was a technique class. So when you buy the book, it has the QR code for the video, and it has, if that's all that's on the video, that it just says bonus, or it will say, hold on, timestamp where that technique is. So if you are interested in getting the technique book, you can look below the video and you can see the link to go shop, and you can get both volumes. I still have volume 1 over there. You can get it in a printed spiral bound version, or you can get it as a digital version. So I know somebody texted me the other night, they go, I couldn't wait. I had to do it as a digital version. And I'm like, oh, she goes, I already have it. I already printed it and I love it. And I'm like, okay. So that was super fun to know that she was that excited to get her hands on it. And I'm just so proud because I've learned all these techniques over the years. I've taught them, but if y'all are like me, it's hard to remember them all. And so I will be sending, hopefully tomorrow, I've been making a gift for anyone who orders the books. And even if you ordered Technique Volume 1, I'm going to go back and send everybody a gift. And it is, it's like 110 technique challenge. So it's kind of a little thing for you to keep track of which techniques you have tried. So I think that, I don't know. I'm like a proud mama. This is a proud mama month. I had my Happy Place stamp set launch, my book launch. I'm just proud. Those of you who are my customers, you should start receiving your new mini catalog. They've already started arriving. People have been telling me. And you can order from that starting September 3rd. So, Loretta says, I'm the technique queen. Girl, I've been trying to be the queen. I need a crown. Wanda Spencer, you're so sweet. Your talent and creativity is amazing. Thank you. That is so kind of you. Leanne says, I can't wait to get my technique book. She's got hers coming. So yeah, if you are interested in that, you can look below the video and go to my tutorial store and look at the different options. So I am going to sign off, and I promise to finish my blog post. But don't y'all want all of these pictures in the free handout? I figured you would. Yeah, I figured you would. So, all right, y'all. I will see you next Monday for mystery stamping. So have a good one, and I will let you know in my email list once that blog post is ready. So happy stamping, y'all. Bye.